Today, Minecraft's latest update is called Chaos Cubed, so get ready, Minecraft might start being weird. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, another week reporting on Satan's perfect video games industry.
No, Satan's not involved anymore.
What? His name is on the front.
Yeah, but Satan got acquired by Embracer in 2017, and then he got out and then sold the name to a holding company.
Huh.
Yeah.
No one can accuse Microsoft of not having invested in video games for the last 25 years. Now we have to turn this into a sustainable business. Those are the words of Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, who evidently doesn't think Xbox is currently something that could be considered a sustainable business. Worrying words following the memo from Xbox CEO Asha Sharma and Chief Content Officer Matt Booty that used phrases like business reset and this cannot continue. Actually, that last one was probably the most foreboding, but indeed, Microsoft is primed to make massive cuts to their games division, the latest data point on the most depressing graph future episodes of CheckPoint will ever have the displeasure to use. According to reporting earlier in the week, the Microsoft-acquired studios Compulsion Games, Double Fine, and most shockingly Ninja Theory are in danger of being shuttered. Shocking not because Ninja Theory is presumed to be any better or safer than the other studios, who both released critically acclaimed games last year, but because at the Xbox Games Showcase the week prior, Ninja Theory announced Senua, the third title in the Hellblade series. And now, the heads of those three studios are meeting with execs at Microsoft to try and negotiate spinning themselves off or buying themselves out so they don't have to close and lay off all their staff, only a lot of their staff. If you'd like to shift from baffled and sad to baffled and angry, stick with me, because according to Stephen Totillo at GameFile, Xbox knew they were going to do this before announcing Senua, and indeed, announcing a hotly anticipated game was done purposefully to hopefully draw investor interest in someone buying Ninja Theory. There is no evidence that anyone at Ninja Theory knew anything about this. Oh, and another data point on that shitty graph, Double Fine unionized a month ago. Could be unrelated. What we find truly infuriating is that these companies in particular were the ones that Sharma and Booty would parade in front of journalists to go, look, behold how cool we are. Compulsion won a Peabody. Acknowledge our greatness, yes. And apparently, none of that matters. In their memo to staff, Sharma and Booty, or Asha and Matt, as they coyly signed the memo, say, we expanded our studio system, and in the process, we have found ourselves overextended. It's only called passive voice. Sometimes it's actually very aggressive. In their summation, they begin, for some of you, these realities will be surprising and even frustrating to discover, which I suppose is them talking to idiots, because everyone else saw this sustainability issue barreling down on Xbox from a mile away after they spent $7.5 billion on Bethesda, then turned around and spent 10 times that on Activision Blizzard King. In a June 4th interview with Bloomberg Tech, when asked about her first 100 days as CEO, Sharma said, quote, my first job as CEO of Xbox was to just understand the soul of Xbox, understand the soul of what makes art, understand the soul of creating. And Asha, if I may call you Asha, the way I count, you've got one of three, because you do not understand the soul of art or creating, but you definitely understand. In fact, I'd say we now all understand the soul of Xbox.
What's that smell? Did Steve's lava chickens hide eggs behind the restaurant again? Probably. But also the latest Minecraft update also brings a new sulfur cave biome and an adorable new mob called the Sulfur Cube. They're low on features but high on potential interactions because unlike other mobs in the game, the Sulfur Cube absorbs blocks that players feed it and then behaves differently depending on which block it absorbed. TNT will make the cube explosive, ice will make it slippery, honey will make it sticky, and wood will also make it sticky.
Hey.
No. Actually, wood just makes the sulfur cube bouncy, which is the default behavior for the cubes. You'll see them bouncing around in the biome until you give them the block, at which point they'll stop moving autonomously. And yeah, man, I also just want to stop moving after I eat and stay in my cave until someone scoops me up into a bucket. Respect. Some have speculated the cube was initially designed to absorb game developers in order to build a new workforce that fitted perfectly into a cubicle, but in testing, the cubes only absorbed rational expectations for the games industry, and at the very least, the Sulfur Cube's plucky determination to absorb union representation makes a great mascot for the few game devs still employed in 2026. Unfortunately for parents across the globe, the update has had no impact on how loudly your children will fight over the etiquette of bed wars or move the needle any closer to understanding the value of bedtime.
It's Sonic's 35th anniversary, and what better way to celebrate than to reveal your Skunkworks project to clone the blue blur into an army of unblinking corporate mascots. Sega has unveiled a new life-size statue of Sonic the Hedgehog with a fluid-filled Chaos Emerald at its core that they say is filled with Sonic's DNA. In defiance of many viral rumors started by anonymous muckrakers, what we here at CheckPoint are certain of is that the Chaos Emerald is not filled with hedgehog jizz. After all, animal semen only carries half the chromosomes needed to produce offspring, so it would be an incomplete data sample. Instead, a scraping of cells from Sonic's delicate pink tongue, still wet with saliva, would be the most appropriate choice based on the solid scientific reasoning we've been sourcing from DeviantArt. While embarking on this dubious choice of biotechnology, Sega has opted to preserve in the DNA sample Sonic's hydrolimit, or his innate ability to earn his otter-level swimming certificate. And frankly, we're happy they did, because it's important to always have an off switch for your bioweapons. In related news, Microsoft is expected to license the technology for their Xbox division in order to gestate a series of spherical programmers to occupy their roles involuntarily vacated by actual humans who needed those jobs to pay bills and shit.
In a softball interview with Andy Robinson at Videogames Chronicle, Final Fantasy VII Remake director Naoki Hamaguchi said, "Obviously, I can't share actual details on how the story is going to end, but in terms of how we envisioned the conclusion, we did have some sort of an idea of what we wanted to do. We did have a kind of direction from the early days of development." And I read that, and we here at CheckPoint just wanted to share some observations. 1, of course you had a plan for how the series would end. It's a remake. Even if you're changing things, you still basically know how it ends. 2, having a plan when you started is not a brag. Remake or not, you should have a plan, especially if you're planning a trilogy. Just ask J.J. Abrams. And 3rd, I've seen these games. You didn't actually have a plan.
7 years ago, just mercilessly goofing on Hamaguchi for pretending they had a plan would have been the lead story.
Yeah, now it's just layoffs all the time, though.
Well, thankfully, the coming up gag is always fun and punchy. Right?
Paul? Coming up, a bug in Marathon Season 2 is causing high-rarity loot to drop more frequently than intended, resulting in a glut of resources and players with high-end equipment. Bungie is sure to address this in their next patch once they find out whether or not half of them are being laid off.
What a week.
Not a great week of video game news.
Nope. I look forward to not having, so we didn't, we've said this before, we never used to report on layoffs at all, because A, they weren't that frequent, and B, they're not like funny, now it's
we only used to report on dumb things that happened.
Yeah, but now the dumb things are also awful, so it's sort of hard to avoid.
Build a new workforce that would fit perfectly into a cubable.
I like cubable.
It's like an Uncrustable.
Yeah. This cheese, cubable. This week, I wrote specifically at that one and the Final Fantasy one. Nelson wrote the Minecraft story with help from and shout-outs to Kira and Quinlan.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what Bed Wars is.
I don't know either, but I assume it is a Minecraft multiplayer thingy. So thank you to Nelson's kids there. And Beej wrote, I hope Nelson's kids, if you are watching, stop watching now. Thank you.
Yeah, don't be...
Beej wrote the one about hedgehog jizz. Great. I love it, like anonymous internet muckrakers, and it's a picture of... What anonymous internet muckraker started this rumor?
An image that Beej submitted.
Some details that I didn't include in the Microsoft thing because it was just so much, right? Mm-hmm. Is a couple different comments made by some of the people involved that have me concerned about things that might be happening in future. So in that same Bloomberg interview, which was like 15 minutes long, it was like this Bloomberg Tech Live thing where they like rapid fire interviews through. And so Asha Sharma was one of them. And the interviewer had some like pertinent questions. And Sharma was like, whoa, I didn't expect you to be asking about that. And the interviewer was like, I have a 13-year-old son.
There are opinions in my household.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. But one of the things that she said was, that Sharma said was talking about, she says a lot about meeting people where they are, but also how, the interviewer asked about like, are you competing in just gaming, or are you competing in entertainment? Do you consider yourselves, gaming or entertainment or whatever? And Sharma said, we're competing for attention, which is
from Daddy Microsoft.
No, for your attention, for consumers' attention, right? And she talks about how sort of younger people today, they've got like, they're scrolling through 10-second vertical videos on their phones, like that kind of attention, right? And it's like they still want to play video games. Video games are still the most popular thing for their relevant demographics to do. But she's talking about how they want like shorter, quicker experiences, and how they're competing now with. She didn't say it essentially, but essentially how they're competing with TikTok. In a different interview, Satya Nadella had this quote, which was preposterous. He said, YouTube monetizes Xbox better than we do. And what he meant was that there is more money being made by gamers and streamers making content with Xbox games on YouTube, like Minecraft, for example, Call of Duty, than Microsoft makes from producing and selling those games.
Microsoft should buy Twitch.
My concern, my worry is that Microsoft... that these statements put together imply that Microsoft is going to try and do some kind of market disruption in terms of video content. Like this to me says we want a slice of that. So we're going to, and to be clear, Google, there was YouTube, Google tried. Google made Google Video and it died the death. And so they just bought YouTube. Like the idea that, and Nadella sounded so like petty about it, right? Like, well, YouTube makes more money off of our stuff than we make off of our stuff. And it's like, oh, you want to make your own thing, don't you? You want to figure out some way that you get this money.
Mr. Nadella, let's be respectful here.
Hello.
I have a suggestion for you. Larry Ellison is about to lose his shirt on all of these AI data center deals. You're going to be able to pick up TikTok real cheap. And when you do, you're going to need some content creators with a long history and a built-in fan base of acceptable people that appeal to all demographics. And let me tell you, Loading Ready Run is here to take your money. But seriously, like Oracle, Larry Ellison is going to lose. Like they can't afford that. They're so screwed. They're so screwed on all of this data center stuff. So just wait. You're going to get a fire sale video website in a couple years. Bide your time.
Our terms are you have to put Copilot into the sea.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We won't do any AI content in our stuff, but that'll whitewash you with a veneer of respectability.
That's very funny.
Call us.
So yeah, that story sucked. But Minecraft, which is also Microsoft, by the way. I guess the Sulfur Cube is cute. I like that.
Yeah, Minecraft is making ass tons of money.
Oh yeah. Which I guess is what Sony expected from Bungie. Who knows what's going on there? There was, I will say, because I'm sure people will ask, that there was this rumor that like the decision to stop supporting Destiny 2 was in some way retributive from Sony execs that had an axe to grind against Bungie or something. The source for this rumor is like one person, and people who have like insider contacts at Bungie and Sony have been unable to corroborate it. So I'm prepared to call bullshit, but
I'm prepared to believe it because I too am a petty bitch.
And you can support our pettiness by supporting this show and everything we do at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or by becoming a member on this channel. Member shout outs at the end of the video.
Yeah, we're not living the fancy life. This is Perrier branded sparkling water, but it was on sale for very cheap for a case at Costco.
We got it at Costco.
It was very cheap.
Yeah. It does look fancy, I admit.
I do feel fancy AF with my Infiniment lychee flavor.
Ooh. Doesn't think Xbox is currently something that could be, but Johnny. Hey, if you haven't seen the update, which you should check out, about the store, go to store.loadingreadyrun.com because we have a whole bunch of new stuff up there. We've got the reprint of the Loading Ready Run Pride shirts, and we have a bunch of new shirts with a newer technology of a direct to garment print on demand technology that doesn't suck.
Yes, it's better. We've tested it.
Yeah, they sent us. I'm not wearing it now, but that would have been good. But they sent us samples, and they do not suck. Check out the store. What a great endorsement, Graham.
When Microsoft buys us, we won't be able to shill our own store, though.
That's okay. Hopefully, we'll get millions of dollars. Wouldn't that be fun? Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Today, Minecraft's latest update is called Chaos Cubed. So get ready, Minecraft. Wow,
whoa.
Good lord. Ba, 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 ba.